Spoilers ahead. Watch out, and take care. The movie begins with Reborn unleashing a rain of punches on several armed assailants, eliminating them one by one. Soon, a special forces team enters the building, and finds the men killed by Reborn. They find him carrying a dead man, and point their weapons at him, who surprisingly surrenders. And is brought before a police commissioner, who asks him his name and why he killed those men. We hear an eerie voice ordering him to inform the commissioner of the impending war, suggesting that perhaps An is possessed by some evil spirit. This theory thickens when An refers to himself as the devil. Eventually, An decided to tell his side of the story, and reveals that he had taken a job as a night watchman in a mental institution, in exchange for food and shelter. Upon entering the institution, An meets the owner, Boon Nam, who appears surprised when he sees someone is really looking for a job there. Without asking too many questions, the owner welcomes An, and decides to give him a tour of the building. He tells him that there are generally quiet patients inside, so it will not be strenuous work. Then Boon Nam shows An the room in which he will sleep. Inside, he meets DeWitt, who lives there and cares for his mother, who went mad years earlier. DeWitt raises doubts about An's ability to fight. However, flashbacks of him clearing out a room full of henchmen settle the question. An admits that he used to fight a lot, but at some point, he lost control and decided to stop. Now, he promises to fight only if there is a real need. Later, An walks down the hall, and meets a strange woman named Janet. She reveals that he has arrived at the Institute at a very dangerous and cursed time of the month, as it is at this time that the hungry ghosts appear and terrorize everyone. Janet says they will be arriving shortly, and hopes that An will be able to take care of them. Later, An goes to have dinner with the others, and sits next to the owner of the Institute. Boon Nam reveals to An his work here at the Institute will be a piece of cake, since they do not receive visitors, after several children have disappeared. It seems incredulous, and Boon Nam adds that every month ghosts come and steal children. However, this is only a guess, because Boon Nam and the others do not know how else to explain why the children disappear out of nowhere. Furthermore, the owner reveals that the children are most likely being used as slaves or other obscene things. Soon, Janet arrives with her son, one of the few children left in the institution. The owner states that she always holds her son close to her, afraid that he too will be kidnapped. Boon Nam also provides him with a Hanuman locket, to help keep ghosts, devils and evil spirits away. Strangely, the people at the Institute are awfully quiet about ghosts and missing children, implying this has been happening for years, and that they may be hiding a sinister secret from the new night watchman. In the evening, An walks down the hallway and notices a statue, that starts talking to him. It states that the end is near, and we see flashbacks of An's past. He was part of a criminal gang and was used as a blackmailer. When the gang leader decided to get rid of him, he tried to kill him, but An defeated the henchman with ease. Suddenly, An wakes up from this nightmare that has been torturing him for years. In the morning, a woman mourns her missing son, but strangely, no one blames him. Suddenly, An smells something strange, but he cannot explain where it comes from. Janet's son arrives, all frightened, thinking that the kidnapped child was Dylan, his friend. However, Janet arrives shortly after and grabs him, saying Dylan is fine. She tells him to visit her later, because she has something to tell him. Later, An enters Janet's room, and she reveals that she once heard that Mephisto is behind all the sinister events. He also learns about the four horsemen and their plans to collect the souls of the children, and bring about the end of time, Judgment Day. Mephisto kidnaps the children so that he can use their pure and free spirits, to push the world into chaos. Moving back to An's interrogation, the detective does not believe this demonic thing. Nevertheless, An states that the only way to reverse the impending chaos is to annihilate the four horsemen. However, this is not an easy task, because they have mingled with the human world. That is why he had to kill a number of men from the Special Forces team. The detective regards An's words as lies, and blames him for the children's strange disappearance. Moving back to An, as he patrols inside the Institute, he is always followed by a strange female voice informing him of an evil lurking in the underground. He heads to the dungeon, and encounters a pair of strange figures, who kidnap another boy. A battle ensues, and tries to stop the terrorizing figures. Unfortunately, he is severely wounded with a knife to the stomach. Next, the four knights prepare to take the spirit of the boy kidnapped earlier. It is revealed they must kidnap 2 more children to complete their goal. An wakes up the next day, severely injured. Boon Nam and Janet find him and immediately begin caring for him. The wound reveals itself to be much more serious than it appeared, and An is about to die. Fortunately, after days of immeasurable pain, he is saved by the god Hanuman, who in return, asks him to be his pawn on earth. In this way, An is born again, but this time with unfathomable strength, and he has the concrete ability to destroy the horsemen, and stop the end times. Later, Boon Nam takes him to his room, where he shows him the tools with which he does rituals. Suddenly, and has another flashback, when he went to his gang to inform the leader that he wants to stop working for him. The leader tried to kill him, since he could not let him go, but annihilated all of them. Boon Nam reveals that Hanuman needs to host the world of the living, and might try to control him, who continues to ignore his advice, and labels his encounter with Hanuman as a fragment of his nightmares. And is closing the door of the institution, when Janet's son approaches him to ask where his friend Dylan is. Dylan is the last child who was kidnapped by the knights. The little boy asks him to defend them, and embraces himself, but suddenly he is haunted by Hanuman's voice, which urges him to kill anyone who stands between him and the knights. And tries to ignore the voice, and promises the little boy that he will help them, but Hanuman orders him to kill even the innocent people, in order to get to the knights. At night, we see the knights striking again, trying to kidnap Benison, Janet's son. However, they are surprised by An, who comes from behind. One of the knights pounces on An, hitting him hard, until he is unconscious. An wakes up again in Hanuman's dark room. The god touches him on the forehead, giving him another life. An wakes up with a loud scream, which surprises the knights. One of the enemies pounces on him again, to kill him for good. But this time, An is stronger than before, and easily manages to kill one of the knights. After that, he chases after the other knights, but soon falls, screaming in pain. Hanuman has given An great strength and powers, but these powers are more of a curse than a blessing, as they weaken him every time he fights, while Hanuman becomes stronger with every drop of blood and spills. Hanuman is slowly fusing with An's body, and plans to manifest his physical form through An's flesh. When An tells these things to the detective, he seems incredulous, but encourages him to continue telling his story. Janet wakes up the next morning, and screams in despair when she discovers that his son has been kidnapped. Meanwhile, Mephisto is planning to kidnap one last child, so he can finally begin the ritual. At night, Mephisto sends his horsemen to kidnap the last child, but they meet strong resistance from him. He grabs one of the knights from behind, and a fight breaks out. Now An is even more powerful than before, and easily manages to fight all the horsemen. Thus, the four quickly escape to the basement. After another kill, Hanuman feeds on An's body again, and knows his days are numbered, and knows he must act quickly if he is to save the children. In the meantime, the knights tell Samael, their leader, what happened and suggest they proceed with the ritual with the children they have kidnapped so far. An asks the residents of the institution to barricade themselves, while he goes to free the children. He cuts off the power to lure the knights, and enters the underground lair. Without power, the knights cannot complete the ritual, so they decide to go together with Samael, the strongest knight, to kill him once and for all. After the villains find him, a battle ensues. And defeats all the knights, but Samael proves to be much more powerful than him, so he turns to the god for help, but he denies it, as An has failed to die this time. And takes a blade and stabs himself to death, offering Hanuman to gain more strength. An never agreed to exchange his soul, but this curse was imposed on him by Boon Nam, who orchestrated the death ritual to save An's life, so that he could protect them and the children from evil. This time, however, An offers his soul to Hanuman for eternity. Hanuman provides him with his staff, allows him to return to the world to finish his work, and warns him that he will take control of his soul and mind after saving the children. Meanwhile, the residents of the institution decide to take some weapons and help him. They meet Samael, but he escapes to the basement. The knights plan to sever the bond between An and the god, and decide to fight with black magic. The knights cut off the chin of a pregnant woman who died tragically, and burn it to form oil, to use against him. An meets Janet, who tells him about the spirit of Santa Mary, who helps them in these difficult times. Suddenly, the spirit of Santa Maria leads into the ritual site. The basement door opens, and An enters. After passing through a tunnel, he encounters the knights coming out with children. Suddenly, Samael stops him, and they start fighting. An grabs the staff and hits a knight's face with it. At this point, Samael throws the black oil into An's face. Initially, An struggles under the influence of the oil, but it becomes obvious that he has lost most of his higher powers. After a long and difficult struggle, he cuts off Samuel's throat, killing him instantly. Afterwards, An falls unconscious, but Janet, with the help of others, arrives and saves him. Back in the present, the detective applauds An for his tragic story, rhetorically blaming him for letting Mephisto escape. But the biggest secret is, Mephisto has been posing as the detective all along, but An, now completely controlled and taken over by Hanuman, kills Mephisto, recognizing him by his scent, finally completing his deal with the god, and leaves the institute, while Hanuman completely takes over his body, and transforms into his true form. The end. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this. Turn on the notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out.